Hello everyone, and we are back. This week we've kept the theme to talk more about the English language test that an individual has to give, whether to study abroad or to migrate abroad for work or to settle down. And we're going to particularly talk about the IELTS examination. A lot of students have reached out to me stating that there are a lot of confusions and there are a lot of clarities that they need in understanding the competence of IELTS. In today's video, we are going to talk about IELTS and overview, and the subsequent videos we will talk about each of the component, what are the skills that are required to understand each component and approach that you need to have while giving the IELTS examination. So let's begin with the overview of IELTS. IELTS is an international English language testing system. The main objective of this exam is to understand your proficiency in the English language, because the countries that you are aiming or envisioning to study abroad or migrate, these are English speaking countries, and for that matter of fact, they need to check the proficiency level of your English language. IELTS is evaluated in bands. You've got a band of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And once you get your result, or if you go onto the website, you will see there will be a description of each band and what each band means. IELTS comprises of 4 components: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Listening, reading, and writing, these 3 components will be conducted together in one day, or rather on the same day. Speaking can be conducted 7 days before this scheduled date of examination or 7 days after the scheduled examination. IELTS is conducted by the IDP and the British Council in India. They are the authorized partners and the authorized agencies to conduct this examination. You can give IELTS in 2 modes. One is a pen and paper IELTS examination, and now in a few cities IELTS have been given, or IELTS has introduced this concept of giving the exam via computer, which is IELTS computer. So when you register, it gives you an option to choose. You want to give in IELTS through paper-based model, or you want to give IELTS via computer mode. 2 different scenarios of giving IELTS. Either if you're planning to migrate or work abroad, then you would be required to give IELTS General. And if you're required to study abroad, and if you're going abroad to study, then you would be required to give IELTS Academy. This is very important to understand, because the exam that you select would be the final and you would not be able to make any changes. So it's very important. If you're studying, IELTS Academic. If you're planning to migrate, IELTS General. Like I already explained you, there are 4 components: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And each of the component will be explained in detail in the subsequent videos that we do throughout this week. Once you give your IELTS, the pen and paper based test will give you results in 13 calendar days, 1-3. And if you give your IELTS through computer mode, your results will be out in 3 to 4 days or 3 to 4 calendar days. Now the result that you get is a TRF that you get, and the back side or the reverse side of the TRF, like I just mentioned earlier in the video, will have the notification of what band it is and what is the description of it. You will get your result in 2 manner. One is the individual component score of bands, and one will be the overall bands, which would be the average of these 4 components. You need to understand one thing, that each college, each institute will have its benchmark for you to be eligible to take admissions. So before you give IELTS, I encourage all the students to first shortlist the universities or the colleges that you envision to apply, so that you are aware what is their benchmark of IELTS individual components and IELTS overview score that you need to get into, so that you have a target to prepare for it. Another question a lot of students ask me is, do I give IELTS from the British Council or do I give IELTS from the IDP? Which one is easier? Let me share this with you, that these are just the authorized agencies to conduct the examination. The methodology, the structure of the exam, and the assessment evaluation methods would remain unique and universal in both the agencies. So you do not need to panic and say that if I'm taking exam in one of the agencies over the other agency, I might score a little less or I might score a little high. The last thing that I want to share with everyone, which most of us are unaware of, a lot of time what happens is, when we give the exam, we are a little confident, or we are very positive that we would score this band in one of these sections, or each of these sections rather, and when the result comes, the result is opposite of that. In such a situation, all the students, what they do is they reapply for the IELTS examination. What you need to do is, if you're really confident that you've done well and you believe that your bands would score or would increase, then you can opt in for EOR, which is Inquiry on Result. The concept of Inquiry on Result is same as your revaluation. If you believe that the bands that you've got are a little less than what you expected, and let me repeat this and let me emphasize, if you are very confident that your bands would increase, having the paper given for the revaluation, then you can apply for the EOR, that is Inquiry of Result. And if your bands increase, your fee that you pay for the EOR, approximately 9,000 rupees, would be refunded back to you. In case the bands do not increase, then that fee is not refundable. So if you're very confident, might not apply again, you can just put it for Inquiry on Revaluation, and then you would get your desired results. Thank you so much. And in the subsequent videos, like I said, we would talk about speaking, listening, reading, and writing in detail. Thank you. Thank you so much for appreciating our last video. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with everyone in your family and friends. Thank you.